Hello there everybody, this is Grant Wilson, it's a Collect 75 and welcome to part 29 of my Transformers UK Marvel G1 Comics review. And yes, we're going to kick straight off with number 271, cover date 26th of May 1990, priced at 45 pence. I love it how the price went up, colour dropped, quality dropped, as in the amount, not the actual quality of writing maybe, but quality of no colour, less UK stories and stuff like that, which is a shame. So we got this UK story of Don't Fall Asleep. At least it had the covers reflecting the UK story rather than the American one, just to try and sell the main point of the comic really being a UK based comic really. So there we go, we got Wheeljack falling asleep there with some strange little green men all over him. We've got, let's have a look, Jazz in Stains. So it recently come to our attention here at good old Marvel Comics that a certain Autobot classic hero has been seen alive and well in the Stains area. That's where I live. The Autobot in question was Jazz, and he was there to meet the winners of a colouring competition arranged by local opticians and Hasbro to promote children's eye care. Would you like to add our belated congratulations to the 12 lucky winners who were picked out of 25,000 children? I didn't know about this. Well done. Speaking of competitions and there's another batch coming up very soon. Jesus Christ, how's that? How can I miss out? I live in Staines. Well, I lived in Egham, which brought bang next door to Staines. I live in Staines now. Anyway, there we go. That's not good, is it? Right, anyway, let's carry on. So we've got Power Struggle, part 3 of the G.I. Joe and the Transformers. Oh, that makes me feel sad. Look, oh, the lady there wondering what's happened to her son. He's like a zombie now because of Bombshell's Cerebro shell. But she doesn't know why, but it's because the Cerebro shell inside his brain, and she doesn't know. Oh, it makes me feel sad because I've got a son and I'd hate anything like that to happen to him. Yeah, so anyway, that's a bit sad, isn't it? I'm sure he gets cured eventually. Some more stuff with the G.I. Joe there, nothing hardly happening there really. Then we got the UK story of the Living Nightlights. Something about these nightlights come to life. I think it was a plan by Ravage or someone to steal energy while children are asleep or something. It's quite an inventive storyline, bit bizarre. Oh no, it might be Mind Wipes thing, or to hypnotise. Oh, I don't know what it was. It's quite a fun story though. Then we got Combat Colin. We've got more A to Z, which is kind of cool. They did print the A to Zs in colour after they printed one in black and white, and everybody was in an uproar about it, and I don't blame them. And then we got the next issue, and then we're going to go back to a classic UK storyline, which is good. Got that one over there. Comes to the next one, 272 Cry Wolf. And these were good. These were good ones. These were all reprinted. I think it is in the final ever UK annual as well, in colour. And so that was kind of cool at the time. So we've got Power Struggle Part 4. God, dear, these really are dragging on, aren't they? We got Dirge just turning up for some reason, and they make themselves known to Cobra and try and form an alliance with them. I'm not sure who that is. Is that Dr. Mindbender? Yeah, I love it how he does make a reappearance in Generation 2 when the Transformers meet the G.I. Joe again. Much better storyline. That was much better read, and we'll come to those once we finish the UK comics. Anyway, right, so there we go. So, yes, their plan is simple indeed. They mean to destroy the Earth. And so even Cobra thinks, hang on, this ain't a good idea, is it? So they're not that silly, are they? And then we got Cry Wolf, which is a good one. And the new Mayhem Attack Squad, trying to get new members. Needle Nose just ain't up to it. But Spinister is, oh no, actually, that might have been another storyline. He's basically Crying Wolf, really. He's getting them to come to his aid with this or something, which is in like an alarm system, just to see how fast they react. And he says, well, you don't need to test us or something like that. Ha. And so eventually he does need their help, but no one comes to this help because they think he's just Crying Wolf again. I love that. That is so see, black and white artwork, I've said it before, black and white artwork really does suit something sometimes, just to give it that sense of dread. There we go. So obviously Carnivac takes out Needle Nose there. And then we've got more Combat Column, Dread Tidings, Indiana Jones competition or something. And then we've got Shockwave making a deal with, I'm not sure who he was. Was he Cobra Commander or was he Serpent, or I can't remember his name. We've got record breakers. Let's move on. 273, Wolf in the Fold. Now, I love this cover. That isn't... Let's get it out, the glint in the light there. That is an evil looking cover. I love that. And if you was a long time Transformers fan, but maybe strayed away from the comics for the longest time, maybe, you know, you picked them up until about issue 100 or something like that, and then you just idly saw it on the shelf, you'd probably think, what the bloody hell's going on here? Look, there's not even a robot in sight. You've got this bloke who looks clearly like a human. This bloke looks like some Skeletor rip-off. And this bloke looks like he's going to be in a B-movie. And you got a blooming werewolf or a wolf there. You know, and that's what I loved about Transformers, that they were so diverse in this, but they still were relevant. I believed it right up until the end. So, it's pretty cool. So anyway, yeah, so here's the scenario. The Decepticons are going to use this thing, whatever that is, some sort of vehicle, to capture all the energy and destroy the Earth. And they're going to beam the destruction of the Earth through this thing and then beam it to Cybertron. Yeah. Bit silly and preposterous, but there we go. There we go. You can see him shaking his hand with Serpentor and Dr. Mind. Is it Dr. Choice? Dr. Mindbender. Another A to Z there of Skywarp and Slag. Still called Slag. Do love that name. Right, then we got Wolf in the Fold, the next part of this storyline. And you've got him just being quiet, knowing that he's there already. And then you've got Carnivac attacking the Decepticon Mayhem Attack Squad, trying to get revenge for the death of Catilla. And eventually the Autobots do go to his aid as well. And then we've got Combat Collins, Semi-Automatic Steve in the Day the Giggling Stopped. I think they've been sent to some weird dimension. Bit strange one. Oh, we got a comic exchange. Yeah, wanted. Transformers issues 1 to 8, 12 to 18, 25 to 27. Probably me. 4 specials, or swap 4 specials. Robot Buster, Enemy Action, Dinobot Hunt, issues 66.3 and 67. Oh, I don't know about that. Probably not. But that was me. Back then I needed issues 21 to 20, 1 to 26. I never had them. Anyway, got them now. Right, so we're going to move on to issue 274, Earthforce and Survivors Unite. We've got the Earthforce, we've got Grimlock, classic heroes and everyone, and then you've got the Survivors, which were Springer, Carnivac, and so forth. And Inferno and Skids, who were the survivors of Time Wars. And that is it. So we've still got this one, Ashes to Ashes Part 2. And there we go, look, they're going to try and rebuild Bumblebee. We've got this bit as an interlude with the death of Optimus Prime, where they send him off into space, just so you can see that's when it takes place in continuity. Blah, 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 not much is happening there. We've got the last part of Werewolf with everyone then attacking the Decepticon Mayhem Attack Squad. Some nice artwork. That's got to be Jeff Anderson, hasn't it? It's got to be Jeff Anderson. Yeah, of course it is. I recognise his artwork anyway. I mean, I was never a massive fan of Jeff Anderson's work, but I to a certain extent, I do like it, and it's a very telltale, and sometimes he can just draw a robot really well. He might not be able to put as much life into it, say Jeff Senior, for example, for me, but his style is all its own, and it's got a very clanky, robot-y looking feel to it, which I do love. Shame he never made it into the American series, really. Still, there we go. I think Andrew Wildman probably put paid to that. So there we go. Anyway, well, that story finishes, and still, it always reminds me of Dinobot, our Beast Wars. I now may be a member of Earthforce, but let's not forget, I'm still an evil Decepticon at heart. And he's just one of those robots where his honour takes prevalence over being an evil Decepticon. And we got Stock Exchange, Wanted, Defensor, Rodimus Prime, and Blaster. Salt Slag, Optimus Prime with Nebulin Commanding, Chrome Dome, Hosehead, oh wow, geez. Sounds like a good deal to me, maybe. And then we've got Can You Keep a Secret? I'm not sure about that one. Now, we are coming to the end of the UK stories. The final UK story is probably going to be in the next part. It's a shame as well. So this is another battle between Megatron and Shockwave on the cover there. Let's have a look. Blah, 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 blah. Ashes to Ashes Part 3. We've got more G.I. Joe and the Transformers. With the Cobra attacking the Autobots. Probably just to keep them out of the way. I'd imagine. And they've got the Cerebro show out of the little boy's head, and hopefully he's going to be a lot better. And now they're using it, and then it's going to affect Bombshell, but he doesn't know it. Bit weird. But Dr. Mindbender certainly realises what's going on. And so he knows that these robots can be abused or turned against one another, 1 and 2. And we've got secrets. We've got a battle between Megatron and Shockwave. Shockwave blasts him down, and he knows that someone betrayed him, and it was Soundwave. You couldn't believe that it was Soundwave, really, because you thought them two were like, you know, bloody nuts, weren't they, them two? But it was Soundwave. But in fact, he actually was going to betray him and Shockwave to team up with Starscream. There's a bit of a weird storyline, that one. But he managed to pretend that it was, in fact, Dragstrip, and Megatron destroys Dragstrip there. Never coming back from that one. But that's the beauty of Soundwave. He manages to get out of that. He goes further. Some good has come from all this. While scanning my fellows, I discovered some juicy secrets. I believe some good old honest blackmail in order. I love that, because that is just what Soundwave is all about. Great, I love that. That is a good storyline. There's something to be said for these also. They might have been standalone and everything, but if you do read them, they're actually not too bad little stories, really. We've got the return of having some words on the next issue. Another bug hunt. Excellent. I missed that, and that was where the comic was going wrong. It just started getting rid of all things like that. Oh, look at this. This one, I've still got the free gift on this one, a little badge. I don't know if it's going to, little MicroMasters badge. This is around the time I stopped taking the free gifts, because I started collecting American comics, realised that maybe they could be worth something in the future or something like that. And I was too old, really. I was never going to wear this badge, so I thought, what's the point? So, as much as I wanted to take it off, I left it. So that has been on there, what, $2.99? 28 years since some person in a factory somewhere had to go around getting bits of sellotape off one of those little reel things, sticking every single badge on every single copy. 28 years that's been on there. Anyway, we've got Insecticons SWAT teams. It's a great cover, that one. I love it. Still on Ashes to Ashes. Jesus. An apology. Oh, that's right, yeah. Target 2006 was being in the collected comics, but they only did one part, and then apparently they lost the original pages of artwork, so they couldn't reprint it again. I'm not quite sure why they could. Well, they've reprinted it subsequently, so I don't know why they could never do that. Maybe they found other ways to do it since then. Maybe back then that was the only way they could do it. So there we go. We still got that. Next issue is All Fall Down. The Knights of Pendragon. Could never get into stuff like that. But we got bugged. I think this is where the Insecticons are bugging Starscream, literally. And he has to take them down. But it's going to lead into another storyline with him and Soundwave trying to team up, I believe. We've got more Combat Talent Return to Mars. Some more A to Z with Slingshot and Sludge. Oh dear, so I'm getting to the end of this one. And then we've got Flight M19 from Memphis. Cancelled. Great one. Oh, some nice advert there for the MicroMasters. MicroMaster Combiners. Here we go with issue 277. Great MicroMaster competition inside. Mayhem at Memphis. Great cover, that one. I remember by now I used to think I was too old to be still getting this comic. I used to go after school up to W.H. Smith's because it was probably the only place I could get it back then, because I think my local newsagent had stopped getting it, and I was never one for putting in a subscription. I don't know why. Yeah, so I had to go up there. It was the only place I could still get it. And I had to run past all the other children coming out of my secondary school, which is Magna Carta. Oh dear, I had to run up there as quick as I could before all the other kids got it. And get it and then hide it. And then walk home all the way from Staines, all the way back to Wigan. Oh dear, they were the days, eh? So there we go. So we've got more G.I. Joe and the Transformers. There's Shockwave, Bombshell, and I think Dr. Mindbender is finding a way to affect the Transformers or something. Some more A to Z with Smokescreen and Snarl. Now we've got Internal Affairs with another fight between Megatron and Shockwave. They love fighting, don't they, in this one? I think we go with the team up between Starscream and Soundwave. Pretty good. That's the trouble with being a Decepticon. You never know who to trust. A little wry smile from Megatron there. I love that. Strip. Now this was a funny comic. It was a bit of a rival, or a Marvel rival, to Kind of 2000 AD in a way, because it had more mature storylines and everything, a bit sci-fi, a bit fantasy-based. Every fortnight, foray into the glorious, macabre, astonishing worlds of such comic talents as Kevin O'Neill, Pat Mills, Ian Gibson, John Wagner, Alan Grant, Don Lawrence. And it's good because obviously John Wagner, I'm sure he created Judge Dredd, I think. Can't remember now, should know that one. I'm sure it's John Wagner and Carlos Escuera. I'm not quite sure if Alan Grant, but Alan Grant used to do a lot of writing on Judge Dredd, and obviously he went to Batman, so John Wagner. Ian Gibson, Pat Mills, he did a lot. Did he do ABC Warriors? And oh my god, I can't think of their names. I'm sure it's Pat Mills. Or was it? Oh, I don't know. Slain? I don't know. But they developed a load of them for 2000 AD. So that's good that they got all them. I could never get into strip that. I did read some of it because when they serialised Death Set, a Body in Question, I did try reading some of the other ones, but they weren't my cup of tea, really. There we go. Right, so we've got Dread Tidings, then we've got G.I. Joe, another adverts there for Micromasters. We're coming to 278, which was turn them off, oh no. And then we go to Fall Down Part 2. Still, see what I mean? Still bloody here. Cover art, Jeff Anderson. Excellent. Then we got the rebuilt body of Bumblebee with Ratchet's help. There's going to be a gold bug. Yeah, there we go. Not much happening there. Oh, look at that. Starscream and Soundwave. Finally make it into the A to Z. Wow, man. Shame it couldn't be like the American comic. I remember the American comic when I used to get some of those. Used to have about 4 or 5. I mean, big page spreads as well. Nothing like the UK one. The UK one, that's where it really did let itself down on those sort of things like that, really. So there we go. That's why I like looking back for some of those US issues, like the later ones from like 70 to maybe further up, right up to number 80s. You got a good load of bloody profiles. So the house that Wheeljack built. Now Wheeljack has built this grand defence system for their base. And unfortunately, he's turned it on and then realised that the only way to turn it off is from inside. And so they got to try and fight their way inside this base. And he said at least it will be a good way to figure out how good its defences are and stuff like that. Next time we'll don't make such a good job of it. That's cool. And then we got Combat Historian's Prehistoric Adventure. Then we've got Dread Tidings. Let's have a look. Cut and Freeze Dried. And then more next week. All Out War. Oh dear, I do like war. I've been playing Battlefield 1 at the moment online. Oh, I love that game. It's a fucking mental game. I'm no bloody good at it, but you know, I do like playing it. So anyway, so we got Transformers. We got, yeah, of course, bloody Transformers. What bloody reviewing, isn't it? Anyway, so we got Starscream and Springer there. Let's have a look. All Fall Down Part 3. Jesus Christ, how much longer can this go on for? Dragged on or what? Anyway, so there he is. There's a rebuilt gold bug and everything. Oh, another fight between Cobra and someone else. I'm sure some people like this storyline. Mate, I did buy the reprint of this. This was reprinted just as Transformers Generation 2 came out, which I thought, well, do you know what? I'm going to buy it because, well, it's a Transformers comic. Back then, a Transformers comic was like blooming gold dust, you know. So I bought it, and then G2 come out because I thought to myself, gee, there's got to be a new comic of Transformers coming out if they're reprinting that. And I was getting the G.I. Joe issues, number 140, whatever it was. And so I thought, there's got to be a new one coming out. Praying to God there was, and they did. Couldn't believe it when I went up there. Anyway, right, there we go. So we got Streetwise Sunstreak on the A to Z. Oh, some classifieds here. I do love looking at all these nostalgia and comics. Doctor Who fans, Mega City Comics, 18 Inverness Street. I don't know if that's still there, actually. There used to be one for Comic Showcase, so I used to go to that one down London sometimes, but that's long gone. Let's have a look. Then we got Divide and Conquer with the Decepticons. I'm not quite sure what's happening here, but the Decepticons are attacking the Autobots while Starscream went to get some fuel and stuff like that. Can't remember if that worked or not, but eventually, yeah, something like that. I don't know. Can't remember. Yeah, there you go. Look. See how badly planned Starscream's attack was? I should lead alone. So there you go. But he knew that by dividing and conquer, he knew he was setting up Starscream to fail or something like that. We've got Comic Exchange. Wanted, 1990 Action Force Annual, swap the 1988 Transformers Annual, and Collector Comics 12. Yeah, that's a good deal. We've got another competition there. He's quite a good one. Then we've got Slagged in the next issue, which is the final part of this review. In fact, it is... we have Swoop with Slag behind him there. Making Tracks, coming up the next couple of weeks. There's 2 stories of note for you to avid Transformers fans. First off, there's the story of the above title, Making Tracks, which reintroduces another of your long-time favourite Autobots, Tracks. If that isn't enough for you, there's a secret of how so many Autobots are getting reanimated without the aid of the Matrix is also revealed. Then, after that, there's somewhat spooky little tale involving the defeated Mayhem Attack Squad members, Stranglehold Autobots, and the bizarre Bludgeon, doing absolutely nothing. All mode playing over the next fortnight. So obviously that is explaining how Nucleon, but I can't remember if Nucleon made a storyline in this before it was in the US. I can't remember there. But we got the US one. Hopefully that is going to be ending soon. We've got Superion and then Steeljaw. We've got Skin and Bone in the Knights of Pendragon. And then we've got the 4 million year itch, in which Slag every now and again goes completely bloody nuts, and they're trying to keep a lid on him as Optimus Prime is visiting the base and everything like that. Because he thinks if they find out that Slag's got this mental problem, he'll shut him down or something like that. But Optimus Prime ain't going to bloody do that, is he? So Combat Collins Prehistoric Adventure continues. We've got Stock Exchange. Slag, Sludge, Soundwave Frenzy, Rumble, Ravage. That's good. Swap Snaptrap, Tentakill, Nautilator, Schoollight, and Sparkstalk. No way. No way. No way. Then we've got some more G.I. Joe. Let's see what else we've got here. And here we have Grimlock's Bane. I never knew that Grimlock really did not like tracks. I always thought, oh yeah, that's right, yeah. Blah, blah, blah. And so things were looking good for the resident Earthforce commander once upon a time. He was leader of the Autobot forces on Earth. A nice new base and no Optimus Prime getting in his way, telling him what to do. His own boss. But all good things come to an end, and he's been given the job to test, the revival of Trax. You see, Grimlock and Trax didn't get on before, and Grimlock would do just about anything to stop Trax, in his tracks. And it's all in Making Tracks, next week's Brit Strip. Yeah, I can't remember why he doesn't like him. Maybe someone out there knows and could let me know, because that is about the first time that I ever remember him not liking Tracks. But there we go. So this has been part 29 of my G1 comics review. I shall see you again in part 30 when we'll be doing from issue 281 to 290, which probably, I'm pretty certain, includes the final ever British strip. So we'll need a minute's silence for that one. Right, anyway, this has been Graham, the Collector 75. I shall see you all next time. Bye for now.